Alright, hey everyone, Noah Walker here, uh, with my Legacy Series Accumulated Knowledge, playing Grixis Delver against my friend Kevin King playing Lance for Team Cardhoarder. Here we are in the second match of really bad matchup, but it's been going alright so far, so hopefully we can keep, getting lucky, playing well. He kept his 7. Our 7 is pretty garbage. Doesn't really do anything, especially on the draw. Even if I didn't know we were playing against lands, this hand isn't great just because it has so many lands and no threats or anything. So I think it's a pretty easy mulligan. Ooh, okay. This hand's a little better. It's definitely much better against like a fair deck like the Delver Mirror or like something that plays Deathrite Shaman because we have some bolts for it, or just like any deck with creatures. But I think that it's still a keep. I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly what they're playing because that wouldn't be great for testing purposes. So I'm just going to keep this hand. Another bolt though, and I'm going to put that on the bottom because we have bolts aplenty. If I knew for sure that I was playing against, like if I was in a tournament and like, oh, like that guy always plays Death and Taxes, then I would snap keep the third bolt on top. But I think that's pretty easy to bottom if against a blind opponent. So. Oh, another Grimag Angler. That's really bad. Awesome. Just gonna snap off a Delver chip. The reason I didn't Pluto Delta for a Valkyr or anything is because in case we draw like a Brainstorm or something and are able to shuffle away the Grimags. So Wasteland. Ooh, and Waste the Sea. That's not great. Hopefully he doesn't have like an exploration or something. Ooh, he doesn't. That's pretty lucky actually. Alright, Delver. Come on. Yes, Brainstorm. So it sucks that he wastelanded us, because if he didn't, then we'd actually be able to get super good, value out of this Brainstorm. But even just having a fetch land here is like decent. It's not bad. I'm just like super worried though. You can just another waste. At least that's not horrible for us. There's a lot of long wasteland. There's just not very much I can do about that. I can't really search for another black source anytime soon because if I do, then we just get blown out by the wastes. So I just have to take this game pretty slow, hoping that we draw. Oh gosh, that's so bad for us. I just have to cast a Brainstorm here, though. I could. Maybe this is wrong. I could have just waited with the fetch land in play until we drew, like, another fetch land, then cracked the fetch, then Brainstorm. Because here, if we don't hit a fetch land, I probably just lost the game. So this was maybe a little hasty. I think that I had more time than I think I did. Than I thought I did, rather, when I cracked this. So I think that was probably misplay. If this Brainstorm hits badly, then we're dead. But we're very lucky, so we always have it. Pretty much. I'm just going to shuffle back. I kind of want one of the Grimag Anglers. So I think I'm just going to shuffle back one and one of the bolts. And here I can't get Underground Sea, because if I do, then he just kills us. Or he doesn't kill us, but then we never have black sources to use Deathrite Shaman. So I'm just going to get Trop and then play the Deathrite and start beating in. Alright. This game is not horrible. I think we got pretty fortunate with that hit. So you Dredge Loam, hit Port, Loam, Fire. Hopefully he doesn't have a Grove for the Fire. Because if he does, then we're actually kind of far behind. But if he just has, like use Wasteland, play Loam, then we're fine. If his plan is just to keep Wastelanding us. Because we got pretty lucky with an early Delver to flip and then another threat too with the Deathrite Shaman. So if he's on the mono waste us plan, we've got him covered. But it kind of sucks here that he has all these loams. Because then we can't really ever eat his lands with Deathrite Shaman. Ooh, it looks like... Okay, so he floated a colorless and he's crop rotating. That makes sense. I wonder what he's going to get. Maybe Tabernacle Waste Me? I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's anything, that I can think of that would be... Oh. Foothills. And then Loam? Actually, I'm surprised he didn't just get... Oh my glob. So he had had a fire in hand, just no red source. Went to crop rotation for a red source. Kill our Deathrite. So now, as soon as he hits a Grove, we're pretty far behind. But if we ponder into a black source, then we're in a-okay shape because he only has fires right now. So we just need to get a little fetch off our ponder and keep it going with the luck train. Force, huh? Yeah, I don't think force is enough to make me keep the blue card. Alright, this is not a fetch line, so yes, I would like to shuffle. Woo! Running hot, per usual. I think it's worth it to just get out the Gurmag here. He has he has 4 lines in the yard. So definitely gonna remove Deathrite Shaman. He has a bunch of spells, so it's probably fine to just remove some of our spells and keep some lands. I think it's pretty, minor what we decide to keep in our graveyard. Because honestly, we probably won't even be able to use Deathrite Shaman's drain ability anytime later this game. Because he'll probably end up casting, Loam, wastelanding us. And then we just never get to do anything again. Fire, okay. Oh. Well. So close, yet so far. I don't even know if it's worth it to play this strand here. I was like, oh yeah. Like, he has to have exactly Maze or Gurmag's just going to kill him. And then he played a freaking Maze right after another fire. So his hand is Loam. And that's about it. Maybe we can Mize and he misclicks and we get in there with the Gurmag. One time, dealer. Oh, okay. That's fine. It's fine. So basically our outs here are drawing a Wasteland to kill the Maze, getting in for 5, then playing Flooded Strand, passing, end of turn, Bolt, untap Bolt. That's our only out to really win this game. But it's not like it's super duper unlikely. It's not very likely, of course, because as you can see, we don't have a Wasteland in our hand. But we got cantrips. We have a little bit of time to find one. Ooh, Daze is pretty poor. Alright, just keep bashing in, I guess. Might as well. We're still doing okay if we draw this draw this Wasteland. Here I think I'm just gonna Daze this spell no matter what though. Blue, Daze. Don't want him Wastelanding us. Does he have a land he could play? I guess he must just not have a Wasteland in his hand or he would have wasted before he cast it. Okay, he just has Foothills. Okay. Wait, why is he so low? What happened? Oh, wait, did my Gurmag hit him accidentally? Oh, no. I kind of feel bad now. Because I think that this is a game that's pretty hard to lose. Since we have 2 bolts. But normally, I think he must have just misclicked through the Gurmag attack. Oh, he must have because the Gurmag was tapped. Well, I kind of feel bad now. I'll just, like, Misers, attack with Gurmag. It could get there. This time I'm not even going to attack with it. The respect. I would just feel bad if if we got him twice with it to kill him. So, but you know, I'm not gonna not bolt him twice. So there is that. And we do have a force too. So it's actually pretty hard to lose from this board state. So, friends, if your opponent forgets to use their Maze of Ith, then you can kill them with Gurmag Angler. Just remember that. Oh, he main decks Boseiju. That's pretty spicy, actually. I forgot that he does that. Get back a bunch of lands, that's fine. Alright, feels bad, but I'm just going to kill him. Yeah, so I think that's a game that, you know, in real life probably don't win unless your opponent actually F6s through their turn. Just like falls asleep or something. So I feel kind of bad about that. But not too much to do about it, you know. Maybe I just shouldn't have been attacking with Gurmags, but let's move on to game 2 against this Lion's Menace. So I think I'm just going to board very similarly to how we did in the first match. Bring in the EE, the Pithing Needle, the Surgicals, the Vortex, and the Grudge. So the Grudge is the only thing that I think is kind of questionable to keep in, but a lot of times they keep loose-ish hands with like the only mana source being Mox Diamond. So I think bringing in Grudge is fine. I'll take out the Dismember, take out the Cabal Therapies. I don't think that card's very good in this matchup. And then take out some Dazes. And since we're on the draw, I think it's fine to do something like... So I still can't decide if I like Daze or Spell Pierce better in this matchup. Spell Pierce is definitely, you know, more powerful, but it also costs an entire mana. So leaving up 1 doesn't happen all so often in this matchup because we're trying to apply pressure, like cast a Young Pyromancer or cast a Deathrite Shaman or something. So it's quite possible that having Daze is more valuable, even when you're on the draw and it's worse. So I'm going to try that out right now, actually, and just bring in none of the Spell Pierces, take out the only Spell Pierce, and just keep in 2 Dazes. And bring in those 6, and I think that we're good here. Submit. Alright, so this hand's a very easy mulligan, at least, you know. It's like, oh, it's so tempting, but no, it's just like not really, because all you have is 1 probe and no blue sources. Counterspells are solid, especially in this matchup, actually. So it's not like, you know, if someone told me they kept this hand, I wouldn't be like, man, you're the dumbest person ever. I'd be like, okay, like, I probably wouldn't keep, but I kind of see where you're coming from. You know, it has a Wasteland, which is really powerful, has a probe, also has 2 Force of Wills, and you're on the draw. So, like, I could understand kind of wanting to keep this hand ever, but I think it's a mulligan. This hand is way better, so I'm just going to happily keep. Has Surgical Extraction, which is one of the most important cards in this matchup, as well as Pithing Needle, which is very good. Delver, obviously insane, and Daze. And I'm actually going to keep this probe on top just to get a look at his hand. We'll understand what's going on a little better. Alright. So assuming the only reason he would keep a hand like this is because he has like Punishing Fire in his hand. Oh god, so he has Boil, Wasteland, Maze of Ith. Can write that down. Boil is pretty powerful. Boil, Waste, Maze. I'm a little surprised he brought it in though, because we have cards like Daze in our deck. So he's just hoping to get us, I guess. Alright. I'm just going to keep that probe. Not really too much of a reason to use it. Delver. Everything's going as according to the prophecy. Okay, Maze. Okay, so this might sound crazy, but next turn I kind of want to Wasteland his Maze and then play Pithing Needle on Wasteland, because that way he can't Wasteland our Volk, and then we'll probably be able to daze his Boil. Sounds crazy, especially because Pithing Needle's there mostly just for Dark Depth Sesame Stage combo. But a lot of times, I've actually just named Wasteland with Pithing Needle, and just been like, alright, if you have Dark Depth Sesame Stage, I'm dead, but if you don't, then you won't be able to Waste Lock me, so. Definitely can be a risky line, but, ooh, very lucky. Insect Vibration flips. I'm just gonna fire off the probe, take a look at what he's got. Drew a Grove. So he's Grove, Waste, Boil. Alright. Honestly, I think having the land is super important here. And I'm so tempted to use this Pithing Needle right now. I'm definitely going to Wasteland the Mace. There's no questions asked about that. That is happening. Now the question here is, do we use the Pithing Needle? It's really close. It's really close. Maybe it's just ponder, look for like more lands, then don't care if he uses the Wasteland. Unless he draws like... Oh, man. But if we just ponder and don't hit lands, and like we're just dead. Man, this is super close. You know? I think the play's kind of loose, actually. I'm just going to ponder. The more I think about it, the more that, yeah, more likely it is that we'll probably draw a land and just get much better value later off of the Pithing Needle. So, not going to shuffle. Those cards are pretty good. Alright, yeah, we put them in that order on top because this turn we draw the Deathrite, fetch for C to cast Deathrite, loam for Maze Forest. His hand is Wasteland, Grove, Boil. Yeah, I just don't really imagine us beating Mazavith too easily this game. So I'm just going to daze this. Then I'm going to surgical it, and I'm just going to jam the Deathrite Shaman. But I don't think I'll play the Volcanic Island for a little bit, just to play around the Boil. Because next turn he can just Boil us. Had it, he says. Because he did not have it. And that's exactly what you say when you don't have it. So let's just take a little look at what his deck looks like post-board. Okay, so he has the one Chalice. So I think it's pretty good that we bring in the Ancient Grudge. And the rest of his deck is just super standard. Hits all the Punishing Fires, all the lands that are really good against our deck. Interpretation, Exploration. Alright. Brings in the 3K grips because he's just super scared of stuff like Pithing Needle. And as he saw in our last match, the old... what's that card called? Oh, Sulfuric Vortex. That card's nice. Just kills him dead. So this is fine. Took out all the loams. Fetch up a C. Deathrite. Bash in with this insect. So his hand is just the Boil and just the Waste. So as long as he doesn't draw something super good against us, then we're doing alright. Alright, so he drew Thespian Sage, so his hand is still just Boil, Waste. So since I don't want to die, I'm just going to play Pithing Needle on Thespian Stage. because it's super easy for him to just draw a Dark Depths and then we're dead. So just gonna nip that at the butt right now. Okay. Oh, that's actually a really cute way to get around Pithing Needle on Thespian stage. Because then... Oh, wow. That's super cool, actually. I forgot about that interaction. Because it just becomes a copy of Grove with this ability. So if I name Grove, I think that he can still just use the Thespian stage ability. I'm gonna ask him because he's a judge. So not only is he pretty good at Magic, he's pretty knowledgeable with the rules. So I'll just ask him. If I name Grove, can you still use it? Use the stage ability. I think yes. I mean, 99% sure it's yes, but I'm just going to ask. No. Okay, so I'm wrong. So I just do name Grove here. All right, so that's actually cool. That's something good to know. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave up the black to eat with Deathrite. I don't think it really changes the clock very much because you put him at 9, then 5 more puts him at 4. You have Bolt. It's not. Oh wow! So he drew stage into stage, but I think here it's too late if he draws the Dark Depths because we just have lethal pretty much. So not a whole lot you can do about it. Doesn't really matter what we remove from our graveyard because I'm playing any Snapcasters or anything like that. So isn't entirely relevant. I don't think there's a reason to cast any more guys even. She's gonna bash. Okay, so if he draws Tabernacle, then then he could boil Tabernacle and kill our guys. So that's a reason to play the Polluted Delta. So I will, but I'm not gonna play the Delver. Not a real reason to. All right, Wasteland or Delta. I'm just gonna let that happen. Because if we fetch for a land in response, then he casts Boil anyways, and then we're dead. Exiled Ponder. Float a red. Maybe I'm supposed to bolt in response? I don't know. Oh, it looks like he's dead. I just didn't even need to bolt. Okay, so, wow, we won again. I don't mean to sound so surprised, you know. It's like possible to win the Lance matchup, but generally it's one of the matchups that I struggle with the most just because I don't have that insane of a sideboard plan against them, you know. But we did happen to draw 2 of our great sideboard cards, which are Surgical and Pithing Needle. And their spells just line up so incredibly well against all of ours. But I think that Grixis Delver has the best shot of any Delver deck at fighting against a lands deck because you have Deathrite for their graveyard stuff. You have an early clock with Delvers, of course, Insectile Aberrations. And then you have Gurmag, which can just go through Punishing Fire all day. So the matchup's not like, you know, unwinnable or anything, as you've seen. But it's certainly not great, so I'm happy to have won these couple matches. Hopefully we get some better games in for our third match, and maybe he won't use or forget to use Maze of Ith.